We live this morning, but it's been a battle. It's been a battle to get here, but we're here. We made it. We made it. We made it. Yes, we made it. We're here this morning and we're live. Goodness gracious. My computer didn't want to act right. Didn't want to do right this morning. Yes, this morning. It's been a trip. It's been a trip, but we're here. Good morning. Good morning. It's 9 o'clock. I won't waste any time with the formalities. I will get us moving. Let me see which way I need to go. Let me scoot this way. Oh, maybe I just move my camera one way. Let me see. No, that makes it lopsided. I don't want to be lopsided. So that means I need to move. There we go. Let's move me. All right, let's share our screen. Oh, I got to get my slides up first. Let me get my slides on here before we do that. And then we'll go on from there. Hope everybody's doing well this Friday morning. It's OPEX. Today is OPEX day. The third Friday of the month is OPEX. It's August, right? It's August, ending the 8th month, which is supposed to be a down month. I don't know if it's doing that, but we'll see, right? Come on, computer. It is doing its thing. I can't, it's taking its time. I just got an alert from Google that there was some suspicious activity in my account, and it may not let me in without some sign-ins, because we know Google will lock your junk down. Google say, oh no, we're not sure it's you. And if they're not sure it's you, they will shut it down. Clink, clink. They'll lock it right up and be like, nope, that ain't you. So we'll just wait and see if it's you. I'm trying to, but my computer is moving super slow. Super slow. Let me close up some other stuff and see if that helps it a bit. Because right now it's moving at micro speed. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. I picked it. Okay, let me go to the chart. Maybe that'll help us. Okay, come on, come on. Friday morning. If you've got some contracts, your weekly contracts, I try to close my weekly contracts before I get to Friday. I really do, because Fridays can be so bananas. So if I can close my weekly contracts before I get to Friday, I do that. And you all know that Peakbot actually enters my weekly contracts on Friday afternoon for the subsequent week. So if I can clear off Google tripping, if I can clear off my slate, or if you want to call it that, if I can clear off my slate before Friday at noon, I really try to, because I want to give a clean slate so that nothing, generally it doesn't anyway, but I don't want anything to overlap. I don't want let me get to 15. I don't want anything to overlap. I don't really want, I want stuff to be closed off before the next thing opens, all that good stuff, right? I want all of that. All of this is tripping. I'm trying to get everything signed in, but it's Google acting like we ain't sure this you. So since we ain't sure this you, which I appreciate it. On one hand, I appreciate that Google is making sure that it's me. But on the other hand, it's happening at an inopportune time, Google. It's happening at an inopportune time. But let's get it together. Let's get it together. See if we can get it together. Okay, so I was saying that I like to to make sure that I try to make sure that my stuff is closed before Friday at noon, so that way my weeklies are cleared up. Uh okay, that's fine. I want to make sure that it's clear on Friday, so that way when it re-enters new stuff for the subsequent week, it's not bumping up against last week's stuff. Yeah, that's the way I like. That's the way I like to do it. But you know, it's a preference, a personal preference. Some people want to get down to the last dollar. You know, let me get down to the last bit of money. And personally, I don't want to. I try not to just get down to the last. If I can, you know, if I can be done with it and get, you know, get a 70 or 80%, you know what I'm saying? If I can get 70, 80% profits off of my credit spread, I'm cool with that. All right. So I'm talking because I'm talking about stuff that's relevant, but I'm trying to get all my pieces and parts together while, because it just seems like this don't want to go. And I want you all to be able to see my screens, to see my charts. I want to be able to see my resources as well. I need to be able to see my resources. And it's like StreamYard is seem to be tripping. And what's the dealio? I can't even get to my things. Okay, looks like this is looking like it's supposed to be looking. It's looking like it's supposed to be looking like. We're 20 minutes from there. We go. 20. Come on, come on, come on. I got to get to my slides though, because I need to be able to see Adam, even though I can see Adam's numbers in another place. Yeah, we can trust StreamYard. So I can really get to where I need to go through another way. But I'd like to, you know, how you get used to your processes. You get used to things going won't, won't, won't. Then you get used to things working like they work. And when they don't work the way they're supposed to work, you're like, no. Good morning, Denise. Hey, Val, how we doing? Hey, Ward. Good morning, everybody. It is Friday. Friday. I went for a walk this morning, went walking yesterday, trying to get back into the rhythm of life. You know, trying to back into the life rhythms. You know, you sometimes we find that when you're not into your normal rhythms, it throws things off, and then you wonder why something else is not working the way it should be. And it comes down to you. For me, I'm gonna speak for myself. I say you, me. It comes down to where I've lost some other rhythms that I need to keep going. I find that, of course, you probably will too, that our food is our fuel, right? So how we're taking in intake, exercise keeps our mind sharp. What we're doing with our mind and what we're taking in as food, how we're managing our bodies, those things are keeping our mind sharp. And for me, I use my mind all the time. I mean, I don't really give it a break like I should. I don't give my mind a break like I should. I don't just let it sit in rest mode. Even when I'm sleeping, I try to, I'm supposed to go to sleep on the meditations, and I don't do that. I don't. I wake up and my brain kicks in the gear as soon as it's going. And but I need to do that more. What I'm saying is, if I'm not keeping up the regular practices like exercising and eating right and all those things, it affects other areas of my life. I also have to keep the worship and the spiritual piece of my life has to be intact. The emotional piece of my life, relationships in my life, when those things get out of whack, it throws off other areas because you get distracted. And and some folks who hang out with me regularly, even if it's online, can tell when I'm not hitting on all the cylinders. And they can identify, and I'll say call me out in a good way, like, Coach, are you okay? You seem a little off kilter. And it was called out, but it was the truth that I wasn't hitting on all the cylinders because I was distracted. My brain was in too many places, and I wasn't firing. I wasn't firing on all the cylinders. So that when that happens, you have to decide what we gonna do. What us gonna do. Okay, looks like Yes, and you have to identify this for yourself because sometimes an outsider can say there's something going on, but sometimes you as your insider, you're the insider who has to say, I'm a little off base. I'm a little off right now. And when you know you're a little off, you got to identify so you can get yourself back on. So I had to do that after I felt like I was a little off. One of the things I did, I decided when I came back from my vacation that I was going to take processed sugar back out of my diet. I'd done really well for a long time, and then I put processed sugar back in, and before I know it, I was eating a lot of processed sugar, and it was like every meal included processed sugar. Well, I don't eat a whole lot anyway. So if I don't eat a whole lot and then processed sugar is the majority of what I'm eating, then my brain is just living off of literally a chemical, and it was a lot. And I realized that I don't do drugs, but sugar is a drug. So I was living off of a drug, and it's like, wonder why your brain is not operating at its optimal. It's because it's in a drug induced state, and this ain't what we doing. This ain't what we doing. This ain't what we doing. But then when I decided to quote unquote detox off of that, my brain, my mind, and body was like, what we doing? Where's our cookies? Where's our cookies? Where's our cake? What are you doing? What do we get? So you got the brain haze that went along with where's our stuff? Where do we get no cookies after we eat? What are you doing? What are you doing, lady? We need a cookie. We need a cake. We need to have our stuff. What are you doing? What are you doing? Anyway, okay, so this was our chart. I don't talk this up to 9:15, and we're 15 minutes before the market opens. Let me go in and hit Adam's numbers real quick, so we can talk about what happened yesterday in the market. But I really want to talk about what's going on right now. So let's jump straight to what's going on right now. Let's do that. I'm gonna hit the VIX, and then because yesterday is behind us, and now we can go on to what is on for today. Okay, the VIX is at, well, that jumped way over there. The VIX is at 1455 right now. I believe it's fresh. Hopefully it's keeping up with it. 1455 right now is the VIX. Let's see what's being said in Yahoo Finance. Actually, I probably should jump straight to CNBC. My computer's moving super slow too. What are you doing? You are not supporting me right now, piece of equipment. You are not supporting me. My equipment is not supporting me. Striking while the iron is hot. Ay, ay, ay. Everything is taking so long to load. Ay, ay, ay. I have decided I'm going to buy another computer. I started looking while I was traveling over the weekend. I just need processing power. My husband, he gets involved in the process, and he's very meticulous about all the criteria that I need in the computer, and then he gives me all the stuff that needs to be in the computer, and he overwhelms me. So then I don't make a decision. He gives me too much data. So then because he overwhelms me, I do nothing. Do nothing. I'm like, no, there's too much. Just pick one. Tell me what to do. And he's like, what you need and what about, and what about this and what about that? And I'm like, no, it's too many choices. Come on. Okay. Let me see. I'm taking some stuff off because it's slowing the whole process down. Okay. I wanted to see what CNBC said this morning, but maybe we just go back to the chart and save ourselves. Let's see if the chart will load in a reasonable time. It is not. What is running that is causing all these issues? Let me see what's running that's causing all these problems. Let me see what is running that's causing me all these issues. I need that to run. I need this running. Okay, I need those running. Ay, ay, ay. None of these things should be taking all this. You are doing too much. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get this on. I don't know why. Woo, 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 woo. Okay. Yesterday, SPX flagged in a range from 64.48 to 64.73, and we did know that it was definitely. I clicked on the refresh button, Michael. It didn't matter. It's taking a long time to refresh. Bear trap at 8:30 a.m. I posted 64.40 reclaim triggers along to 64.73. It hit 2 times. The first flag breakout target was 64.82. It was hit overnight. Plan today, hold your runner. 64.76 is micro support. 64.67 is below. Targets are 64.82, 64.86, 64.97. All right, put those on your chart. Put those on your chart. If 67 fails, then we dip to 64.56 and back to 64.48. All right. Yesterday, it definitely flagged back and forth inside of there. And when it does that, sometimes on SPX, I get a little nervous. Not that I get a little nervous, but I get a little nervous from the standpoint of, as it's staying in a zone, we want to put on, I know for me, I want to put an iron condor on. The issue becomes, when will it break out of the flag though? So you want to get an iron condor, but you can't get too close, but you can't get too far because there's no premiums. But if you get too close and it breaks out, it'll break through. So it can be a what do we do basically. So we were early enough, our trades were early enough in the day that we got the reversal at the top and a reversal at the bottom, or below the reversal at the top, below the and above the reversal at the top. So that way we had print. All we had to do was wait for the day to expire, which it did. So we were able to make profits yesterday, which we did in our community, by the way. Lots of profits over in the option seller zone. And if you aren't if you're considering where do you trade SPX each day, making your profits each day, come over and join us. We did have a couple of red days this week in the membership, and we never enjoy those, but we did have some. They come with the territory a little bit. We don't like them, but we have more green days than red days. Anyway, come join us. The ticker's running along the bottom. So put on your charts though. Put on these numbers. It is OPEX day. OPEX day is the third Friday of every month. A lot of contracts and things are going to expire. This is not quad witching, right? This is not the end of the quarter, is it? No. September will be it. Yeah, September. So that's next month. All right. So we just did this. Plan today. You hold your runner. 64.76 micro support. 64.67 is below. Targets are 64.82, 86, and 64.97. Plus, if 64.67 fails, then we dip to 64.56 and back to 64.48. The gap between SPX and ES is 21. So if you're looking at Adam's numbers on Twitter, subtract 21 from his numbers. If you're trading XSP, then you want to look from 644 to 650, somewhere in there. So 650 gets up to the 6,500. Right at 6,500, you know the market's gonna want to push us up to 6,500. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Okay, so put those numbers on your chart. Alrighty, let's go back. I think I got a little bit of Adam just posted I just got a notification on Twitter. Adam says OPEX day is in full swing. Do not overtrade. Right? Do not overtrade. 64.40 reclaim got us long yesterday. 64, I'm automatically translating these numbers. 64.73, 64.82 were targets. They were both hit. Today's support, 64.76, stuck here for 2 hours. 64.67. We can get to 64.98 when ready to push. If 64.67 fails, then we'll sail down to 64.56 and 64.48. Back to the same spot I just mentioned. Hey, Selena, just dropping in. Okay, this is SPY. This is SPY in the pre-market. SPY closed yesterday at 645.15. It is currently at 646. So it's about $1 above where it closed yesterday. It's about $1 above where it closed yesterday. That's up. That's what's going on with SPY. We're 7 minutes from the open at this point. A little bit of a gap up open right now. Triple Q is closed at 579.06, currently at 579.80, about 70 cents above where it closed yesterday. IWM closed yesterday at 228.49, currently at 228.73. Excuse me. That's those right there. Okay. IWM. Let's see what SPX is, even though SPX 500. SPX 500 is currently at 64.77. Where did it close yesterday? Anybody remember where SPX closed yesterday? Hey, Drew. Anybody remember where SPX closed yesterday? Anybody remember where SPX closed yesterday? I can go look real quick. It's at 64.77 right now, closed at 64.68. So it's up a little bit, about 8 points, 9 points from yesterday. So it's going to be a little bit of a gap open, which we're going to be able to see here in 5 or 6 minutes. Okay. Today, that's not what I want to see. As far as dates and what's happening today, all of my little stuff. Where is my filter? There we go. I only want USD. I guess I could also do Canada, but I usually only look at the USD stuff. Friday, we've got core retail. We had core retail sales this morning. It came in a little hot, a little bit, 0.5%. They thought it would be 0.6. At 10 o'clock, we've got the University of Michigan stuff coming. And today, again, is OPEX. President Trump is speaking sometime today. Doesn't say when, but it's on the list. All right. So keep your eyes on that. 64.68. Thanks, Melissa. Keep your eye on that. CNBC. Currently, Dow futures, S&P futures are green, and the NASDAQ futures were red. S&P futures rise, heads for a big weekly gain after solid retail sales data. Okay. All righty. The VIX, let's see if did the VIX do any rising while I was waiting to do right. Before we go, I want to talk real quick about E2T University. E2T University is starting on, well, it's opening on Monday. E2T University is opening on Monday. It's going to open for those who are going to register and sign up. Now, E2T University is where we're starting from. I don't know much and I want to know more, basically going through a 12-week, 12 plus. It may end up being more than 12, but it's scheduled to be 12-week program. We get an introduction to stocks and options, learn how to chart, how to use indicators, some profitable trading strategies, how to make daily profits, portfolio management, trade psychology, and risk management. I've got people who are with me And I think some of them may be in the chat. If you're with me and you're in the chat and you started with me and you knew very little, come on and say me. Say me here that I did. I'm gonna get some more of these people to say, because I want folks to know. First of all, anybody who's been with me any length of time will say that they've learned some things along the way. I already know that's what's up there. I already know. But we're opening it up in educational setting, academic setting, where you're learning from somebody who is an educator. I am an educator, and I will, Val says me. I am an educator, and my task in real life is to transfer information to individuals who are learning. That's what I do for a paycheck. That's what they pay me to do at the university, right? At the real university, at the UNF. I got my own real university. It's called E2T University. But I also want to train traders, because I know we have people who want to use this as either as an additional income or want to replace their income with this. And it provides a level of freedom that we really want to have. I want you all to have it. I want to have it. I utilize it as a way to just add to my life. And I want to give that same level of freedom to other people's lives. But on Monday, it's going to open up. You can go here and join the wait list. I can swing back to the right screen now that it's actually where it's supposed to be. Right? We're turning our trading into a skill that serves our freedom for a lifetime. Right? We're going to learn to trade. And this, though we use 0 DTE in the membership, we've got strategies that I teach that are very passive, that can be used on a weekly basis, that you can literally set it and forget it. All the strategies, I don't only teach 0 DTE. We have other strategies that we use as sellers that are very passive. But you need to understand the foundation of all of that before you get yourself signed in and logged in. You need to know what we're doing. What are we doing, right? So opening up on Monday. Even if it's not you, if you already know, but you know somebody who wants to learn, and you're not the one to teach them, because there's so much more to it from where you are and where somebody else is. You need to be able to bring them along. Don't do that to yourself. Hand them off to somebody who knows how to translate information, who is an educator, who will educate your family and friends. Give your family and friends somebody who can totally educate them. Denise says, me, I got a much better understanding of gaps. Val says, Arlissa has taught me a lot. Yeah, Ward says, me. Definitely make sure that you pass the word to other people. It's going to open on Monday. And people are going to be able to get in. The price point is going to be $14.97. That comes up. The price point is going to be $14.97 for 12 weeks of learning. All righty. Those who are already in my community, who are already in my membership, are going to get a deep discount, because there are people who are already following me, but they know they've got holes in their foundational learning, and we're going to fill that in with following along and learning along the way too. I'm going to offer that as well, right? But 12 weeks, all right? And you're going to be able to go from second guessing your entries, from revenge trading, from overcomplicating every setup, from trading in isolation to knowing the potential, but not the process, because we know the strategy has potential, but you don't know how to get there. We're going to get it all done. First 3 weeks, is like a foundational freshman. You're going to be building foundation. Second 3 weeks, you're going to be like a sophomore, getting some strategies laid down, working with your charting and your good indicators. Third 3 weeks, you're going to be like a junior. The edge, credit spreads, PDT hacks, so you're getting more involved, because credit spreads is a little more advanced strategy. And then the 4 3 weeks, we're going to bring it all together and really work on your portfolio and get you where you're trading with us. By the time you're done, you're going to be ready to trade with our membership on a daily basis. That is what I am going to help you and teach you to do. If you lean in with me, I'm going to lean in with you. By the time we're done with 12 weeks, you're going to be ready to trade with us every day. All right. Every week, you're going to get live strategy walkthroughs, weekly prep sessions, Q&A, real-time chart breakdowns, community connection. We're going to hang out together. We're going to trade. We're going to have our classes on Mondays. That way we can apply what we learned during the week. All righty. This is where we are with that. Let me grab the link. So in case you want to go and get on the watch list, the wait list, not the watch list. You want to get on the wait list, you can go ahead and do that. All righty. Okay, let's go back. I think the market has now opened sesame. Yep, it gapped up and it came right back down to fill the gap that it left when it opened, which that would have been a good little gap fill play. Good little gap fill play would have been right there. It popped right up almost to that pivot, that resistance 1 pivot. Not sure how many of you all use pivot points on your charts. Anybody have the pivot points indicator on their chart? It's like a built-in, almost like a built-in support and resistance. It's called pivot points. 64.81 was the pivot. It popped right up there and dropped right back. Okay, looks like it's just about filled that gap almost. As a seller, though, we don't necessarily trade right at the open. As sellers, we don't trade right at the open. We come in at the open and watch. But as sellers, we don't come in trading. Because there's too much volatility happening, and we're just watching to see what's going on. Not as sellers. We come in watching, and then we see what's what, and then we go on. After that, we give it some time. Time on my hands. We give it some time. Okay. And then when we let everything settle down, let the SPX pick a direction. Once we see some direction and a trend happening, then we ride the trend. Hey, Antonia. Then we ride the trend after that. So we watch the open, but we don't trade the open like that. Looks like SPX did gap up. 64.81 was the open, and it has now filled the gap. Yep, the gap, it's probably got $1 maybe, but it's pretty much filled the gap. That's what SPX did. Let's look at what SPY did at the open. Did SPY fill its gap? Yep. SPY filled its its gap. So did Triple Q. And the IWM. Same thing. There we go. All righty. That's what happened in all the indices. That's what's happening right now. They all gapped up a little bit and started to fall, filled the little gap that they had, and we'll see. But listen, almost all of them filled that pre-market gap. If you're a buyer, that pre-market gap strategy is an interesting one. I've talked about it on here before, and I won't do that. I won't talk about it again because that's a buyer strategy. Okay, let's go ahead and wrap this up because I'm going to do some live trading with my folks here soon enough. Our E2T declaration. I declare I'm a great trader, a successful trader, and a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses and my account is growing steadily. I am a wise and knowledgeable trader. I have a strategy that I use for my trades. I don't randomly place trades. I am a level-headed trader who trades my plan and not my emotions. We do not trade from our emotions. We trade from a plan and a strategy. Lord, it's you who gives us the power to get wealth. Help us today to trade our strategy with wisdom and knowledge. Allow us to prosper enough to have what we need and enough to bless others. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, amen. All right. So it's OPEX day. Positions are closing. Positions are opening. As we do every single day, I will admonish you to trade what you see. Trade what you see. Close off, open up, whatever it is you're going to do, trade what you see. Looks like there's a gap down here on IWM that's it's running after. Maybe I just left that on my chart. Okay, trade what you see. I want you to do 3 things today. I want you to stay green. I want you to get this money, and I want you to have a great green day. And if I don't see you, I want you to have a good weekend, and find me on YouTube Sunday night at 5 o'clock. I'll be live on YouTube Sunday at 5 p.m. talking about next week. What is the week ahead? All righty. Make sure you like and subscribe. Do all the stuff. All right. See you, everybody. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.